Hello, I'm Michael Glass from the FXcast Market Analysis team. This is our market analysis for Monday, July 11th. In each of our videos, we try to find high probability trading setups. We'll look at the gold chart to find leading sentiment. We'll come up with a low volatility watch list and inside of our watch list, and we'll review the economic calendar to see what can affect our potential and open trades. As always, please send your comments and questions to analysis@fxcast.com. Let's go to the charts. Okay, as we go and look at our gold daily chart here, we can see the range that we've been in for the past month or so, really longer than that. We had a month just right here, but when you go even further back and see the bounce that we had in here to come up with support, that goes all the way back to April. And now we've made our way back up to our resistance level. We can see the good news is that as we moved up and crossed into this auction area, we can see that the volume increased with that, and the volume, the selling and buying volume is at parity. But we've been waiting, and potentially it might happen here. Don't know. We can see the buyers maybe starting to cross up. So as the volume's increasing, it has to be buying volume as we move higher. But of course, the reservation you have to have is we can see that we're at the last key resistance price level. Now, when we come over to our hourly, we can see that's what's happening. The price is consolidating. We're getting ready to form a volume resistance up here. This is where volume is accumulating. And we're in the oversold level on our RSI, which matches up with we're approaching resistance. We're starting to get overbought, not oversold, overbought. And so potentially a pullback is in play. Now, so if gold is moving up, the inverse relationship should be that dollar is going down. Now, particularly on Friday, that didn't happen, but in general, it is what we're seeing. So when we go to look at the pound dollar, we see two things. We see the downtrend. We see some wicks of our down channel. We wicked it, but more importantly, we see this channel that we've been in for about 2 to 3 weeks here. The other thing we see is what? Volume is kind of disappearing. And each time volume comes back is what? Every time we try to push lower, just grabbing the wicks for you. Every time we try to push lower, here we're trying to push lower, the volume comes in. Every time we try to defend this lower, the volume's in. And then as we get out of it, volume just kind of deteriorates. Now we're testing that bottom again, and here's our volume again. So buyers are continuing looking for value here at this 1.5945. Buyers are finding value there. But when are we going to really close out of this range? And what we'll see, this 2 to 3 week range, we come over to our hourly, and we can see for the most part we've snaked around our long-term moving average, parity. We've snaked around our neutral zone, again parity. And then when we finally did break into the buy zone, we did get a move back to the norm, to the neutral. And as we moved up a little bit, we moved back down. So we're seeing parity, and why is that? Well, a couple of reasons. First and foremost, we can see that the weakness in the dollar. So as gold is moving up, we can see the dollar moving down. As we said, Friday, the dollar did move up. We also see that the pound dropped on Friday with a little move up. But we also see another thing here, and that is the pound staying in control, almost with a divergence, where the pound is moving up and the dollar is moving down, which is why we saw this move up. However, they're both below zero, and that's why we're seeing this parity. So what we need is some catalyst that's going to really get us out of this zone so that we can get into a true buy and sell area. Until then, anytime we do stretch up into a buy or a sell zone, we need to go ahead and take that position. Now, when we move over to the euro dollar, we can see the downtrend line that we're watching. This little pop above the downtrend was a holiday in the States, and so I'm not going to count on it too much. But let's grab our trend line here, and let's draw with the wicks. And you can kind of see the range that we're watching here. And so, the buyers are starting to find value in this 1.41, 1.42 price level. And since we had our push down, that would say since the buyers are finding value, that perhaps we should be looking for a position to go long, but we can also see that the selling volume is still in control. When we come to our hourly chart, we can see we are off of our long-term moving average. We are off of the neutral zone. We are in a buy zone. If crossing above our second moving average could be interesting, but the thing that's concerning is both of these are below zero, and just fractionally we had the dollar take control as we move down, and we have a little divergence where the dollar is moving up and the euro is moving down, but they're both in the negative zone. So we may see a little choppiness on our daily chart here until one of these clearly takes control and gets back on the positive side. Finally, we have the dollar franc. Of course, we have our long-term downtrend. As a matter of fact, on the daily, let's come over here, and you see this little support that was drawn in here. And now, what do you see? We see a range, and that seems to be the theme of the day here, that we have a lot of range. So until this fails, we certainly should be looking at longs down at the bottom, at the support, and we certainly can look at shorts at the resistance area. That's just a natural. But let's take a look over on the hourly, and we can see this is the states had a non-farm payroll, which was very bad, and that is what you're seeing here, the dollar being crushed off of that release. And we're getting into the buy zone, which is interesting as we approach the lower side of the range that we're in. But clearly, the franc has taken control, which would continue to move lower. The franc is moving above its moving average. The dollar crushed below the moving average. We did get a little signal here of an oversold area, and that is as we started to level off. So it's going to be interesting to see if we do get a continued push down and what happens at this 0.8318 price level, which has been support for a good month and a half. Currently, for our watch list, our low volatility watch and our inside of our watch list, we do not have any candidates for right now, but we'll update those throughout the day. Let's go to the economic calendar. As we go to our economic calendar, we can see that we're pretty light for today, pretty light. One thing to see is for the yen, which has been consolidating forever, has its monetary policy decision. So that may do something. We also have some inflation data for the yen and housing starts for Canada. But overall, you can see we're pretty light on economic news. We would like to thank you for watching our FXcast market analysis. As we continue to improve and make adjustments so that you're getting value from our videos, we want you to take the time to give us feedback, give us comments, send us questions about what you would like to see in our videos, and you can send those comments and feedbacks to analysis@fxcast.com, or you can post to our daily forum. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you next time.